Last night is the night it felt like they just pushed the go button on WrestleMania. This is one of the better Raws I've seen in a while. And I think I said that in like last two that we saw. But this one was, like, it was a step above, it felt like. Every storyline got a little bit more detail to it, a little bit more push leading into WrestleMania. Most of the matches were high quality. If they weren't like short, nothing matches, they were high quality. And there were a few surprises and a few awesome moments. Like New Day retained their title, which was expected. But that beatdown was brutal afterwards. Long, but brutal. That's starting to set up, the League of Nations maybe as something to worry about. They've been a footnote or a punchline for their entire existence so far, so it's interesting to see them do something that shows them as powerful. Dean Ambrose, just all night, Dean Ambrose, he cut a great promo with Brock and Paul. That was a spectacular segment. And then they followed that up with a backstage with Mick Foley. And that Mick Foley is why I watch wrestling. His Hell in a Cell match with The Undertaker is one of, if not my favorite match. And them talking about that and what Mick put himself through and why he put himself through it, and then Dean basically saying the same thing and a literal passing of the torch. He took Dean's crowbar from him and handed him a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire. And that sounds like something that shouldn't be touching, but I was almost in tears watching it. It was like, this is my hero, so to speak, handing over his weapon of choice to one of the best guys on the roster right now, and one of my favorite guys on the roster right now. And it was like, this is awesome. Like, this is really, really cool. And that was an awesome moment. And then you had, like, Steph McMahon and Triple H doing their thing, and Triple H cut a great promo, interrupted by Dolph Ziggler, of all people. Suddenly, one of the best workers in the ring has a story. And he cut one of the best promos I've heard him cut in a long time. And he was awesome. And then they had a match. Dolph Ziggler and Triple H had a match on Raw last night. I did not think I'd be saying that 24 hours ago. But they did. And it was good. And I liked it. And then out comes Roman Reigns. He makes his return, and he didn't say anything. They didn't even put a microphone in his hand, and that was good. Because he's at his best when he's just beating people. When he's just wrecking people's days. And he came in and he beat the tar out of Triple H. I'm assuming the blood was fake. Because the blood was fake when Roman Reigns got beat up a few weeks back. But still, just the brutality of some of the backstage fighting. The TV over Triple H's back was amazing. I almost lost my mind. And I thought he was going to take swings at the Usos afterwards. It was a really good beatdown. Of course, Shane and The Undertaker, up until now, it was like, why is Undertaker doing this? Hell in a Cell needs Undertaker versus Shane to actually have some meat behind it and not just Vince pulling strings. And it happened. It wasn't much, but it happened last night. Shane said that one word that starts with the B in reference to The Undertaker, and now I know he's going to die in 3 weeks. Like, okay, moving that forward. Even some of the lesser storylines, like Kalisto and Ryback, that seems to be cementing itself as a match for Mania, which, fine. AJ and Jericho, again, fine. Owens, Zayn in what I assume is going to be a multi-man match for the Intercontinental title is starting to cement itself as well. The Miz, I think, is going to be part of it, and maybe a couple other guys, maybe like Stardust will be in there. But just a continuation of Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, which is like the best feud because it's so simple. It's we were best friends and now we're not. And you don't need convoluted storylines about love triangles, Rusev, and stuff just to make a story. No, it's like we were friends but now we're not. And we will fight forever. And that is great. And everyone knows what that's like, and everyone can follow that story, and we don't need long segments telling the story. We know it now, let them fight. So I guess I'm saying I wish it wasn't going to be a multi-man match at Mania, but if it is, it is. If it's not, awesome. And some of the Divas stuff progressed a little bit. It still looks like Lana, Brie. They're taking baby steps with that one. I'm still not sure what's going on there. Yeah, like everything moved forward. I feel like I'm missing a storyline. It looks like Usos, Dudleys, but that's fine. If they're gonna have a 4-hour WrestleMania, you need something to fill the card, and that's fine. They'll have a good match. But yeah, like all around, really good show, and it's kind of weird because all over free TV, all over Raw and SmackDown, they're saying buy the network. You should buy the network. Buy the network. Buy the network. This is where you can watch WrestleMania. Here, we'll give you WrestleMania for free if you join the network, if you subscribe. They want these subscribers. But then they give away these awesome shows with great matches and progressing storylines and all this stuff happening on free TV just a week after saying, get the network so you can watch Roadblock. The only place you can watch Roadblock is on the network. Go buy the network, watch Roadblock. And nothing happened on Roadblock. Why buy the network if all the storyline is happening on free TV? Understanding, yes, Mania is coming up and something's bound to happen at Mania, as it always does, but why buy the network for these network specials if it's just good wrestling, which I love good wrestling. I'm still watching all the network specials because it's good wrestling, but it's not as much of a draw if there's no progression to the storyline, because that's what they are. The WWE is not just wrestling, it's the story as well, and it's weird seeing one without the other, and it doesn't quite work, if that makes sense. So yeah, overall, great Raw. Loved it. I'm exhausted because I stayed up later than I should have to watch it, and I had work again at 4 this morning, but that is my fault. Tomorrow, I'm looking at a movie called Floating Weeds, and I do not know what that is, but I will find out. Isn't that right, Luna? Until then.